Hi, welcome to Coaching Tips. My name is Vicky Haspels, and I have Hi and welcome to Coaching Tips. My name is Vicky Haspels, and I do soul coaching, which I call Heart Journey Coaching, and that is directed more for people who are self-aware, who perhaps are psychic readers or healers, and it helps them clear away some of the cloudiness around their thinking or their energy, just to identify where there may be some blockages or hold-ups. And we do that for each other. I have many people that I reach out to if I need a bit of guidance, or if I feel like I'm a little bit locked, or just some reassurance that I'm on the right path. And that's what soul coaching or heart journey coaching is all about. It's not about fixing up your business or your life per se. It's more about reading what's happening in the soul and the energy around what's blocking and so forth. Now, I wrote a little blog this week about the sensitive heart, and I think I'd like to tie in a little bit of coaching around that. It can be oftentimes a feeling of the archetype of the victim when it comes to the sensitive heart, because a lot of things happen around us that we become part of, and we think that it gets out of our control. We see it with our heart. We don't really understand how things get out of control, because being a sensitive, being an empath, being psychic, we can see and we connect with people's hearts. We see their possibilities. However, we get a bit bogged down in understanding or recognizing that perhaps the person's humanness or their journey here will be the stumbling block for them to reaching those possibilities, or reaching that where we can see their potential is at. And we often double down and wait and hang around and so forth, and within that relationship it eventually begins to degrade to a point where we have to leave, because the other person is not able to recognise within themselves that stumbling block that they have to access their potential, the possibilities of their soul. It's got nothing, it's not their fault, it's not our fault. It's just that because we can see it clearly, we get a little bit stuck and not really understanding that process. And that's part of my job, is to help you see that when it comes to relationships. One little part of my job. So I talk about the archetype of the victim. Now, the cards I use are the Soul Life Philosophy cards by Tony Riley, and these cards are I use as a guide for as well. Like, I read psychically, I read the soul, look at the energy, the aura, but I use the cards as a visual to help my clients understand or get a deeper understanding of where they're at. Because sometimes having that visual in front of you will actually give you a little bit of a different perspective. So the card I've chosen for the victim is acceptance. When we think about victim, we think that not that person, we're stuck, they're not taking responsibility and so forth. And yes, that can be the negative side or the downside of the victim archetype. We are stuck. We cannot see a way out. We cannot even perceive a way out. We can't even understand how we got there. And we're sort of stuck in a very much an unconsciousness and repeating the same pattern. Eventually, because we do the self-awareness work, we eventually make our way around to seeing consciously what's going on and accepting it. So the other side, the alternate, the flip side of the victim energy is acceptance or surrender. And we can use the archetype victim energy to lean into something that may not be making any sense at the moment, but we find ourselves caught up in. If it doesn't make any sense, it may not be for us to understand either right now, or it may not even be any of our business. We need to take care of ourselves. So using the victim archetype for in a positive way, we surrender to the circumstance. We accept that the situation is here for us. It's not happening to us. It has occurred for us. And how we respond and react to that situation defines our character. I've been known to double down in some pretty awful relationship situations, so I'm no stranger to that concept. However, because I want to live my best life, I sit myself down, have a really good, honest look at what's going around me, and I put my best foot forward, and I either surrender to the situation, only act when it is time to act or react or respond, or I sit tight while whatever's going on around me goes on around me until I know it's right time to act. And in those times, I reach out to my friends, I reach out to my mentors, I go and have healings, I have readings, all those sorts of things. It is I'm not a stranger to those modalities, and that's why I do what I do, because I know that it works and it works for me. How can you surrender? Breathe. Feel your body. When you are in a situation that you are all tense, ask yourself, do I need to be in this situation? What can I do? Is there anything that I can actually do right now? Is there any action I need to take? If you don't need to be there, or there's no action that is evident to you in that moment, breathe, you accept, you walk away, and you don't interfere. If it is meant for you to do some sort of action or move forward, you will know what it is to do. Sometimes we know the right action, but we are reluctant because it requires change. You reach out and you ask for help, and that's what self-awareness is about, knowing the difference and making those conscious choices. The best thing to do is to breathe and listen to your body. Your body is your intuition. It will never let you down. It will always show you the right way. When you're in that calm space or away from the situation, you can begin to look at it, or even if you're talking to a counsellor, mentor, healer, reader, whoever it is, you can be looking at that situation from a detached viewpoint, and it's in that moment that you know how to move forward, even if moving forward means doing nothing. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you. Please, if you want to come and see me for any sessions, have a look on my website, vickyhaspels.com. If you have any questions or any comments, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me, and this will be a regular series. With love from me to you. Goodbye.